talk about Pixel 7 Pro. Had a great value in launch, pretty good cameras, and design was okay, but it had some shortcomings. For example, the battery life was kind of short, the G2 processor was kind of lagging behind the competition, and the display wasn't as bright as other phones. With that in mind, this is the Google Pixel 8 Pro. It's meant to address some of those issues with last year's model, while also introducing some new features. For example, a lot of Google AI stuff, better camera here, and overall, hopefully a better phone. I will tell you though, it is $100 more than last year's model. So does it hold its value? We'll find out, but before anything else, I want to talk about the display. So the Pixel 8 Pro has a 6.7-inch display, same size as the 7 Pro, but it's a totally different panel. They call it a Super Actua Display, and they claim that it gets up to 2400 nits of brightness, which is ungodly more than the 7 Pro. So it's one thing to say that claim, but it's a totally different thing to see it in person. So I'm going to show you exactly how it stacks up against the 7 Pro. Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7 Pro, show you our website here, and right away I could tell the difference between the two. The whites are stronger here with the Pixel 8 Pro, a lot brighter. It's a night and day difference. It got up to 1526 nits in my testing, which blows away the Pixel 7 Pro. It's actually on par with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and a lot better too than the Galaxy S23 Ultra. For the most part, it looks like a Pixel, just like before. You have that noticeable camera hump on the back. Not really thrilled about that single piece of glass, but it is what it is. There are some slight changes to its looks, but again, like I said, it looks similar to last year's model. The deal with the Pixel 7 Pro's battery last year was that it was underperforming. It reached a little bit under 8 hours in our testing. That was well short of the 12 plus hours that we got out of the iPhone 14 Pro Max and the Galaxy S23 Ultra. This time, there's a slightly larger 5050 milliamp hour battery in the Pixel 8 Pro. It's still technically stuck at 30-watt wired charging and also 12-watt wireless. Luckily, the battery life's improved here with the Pixel 8 Pro. It actually reached 10 hours in our testing versus the 8 hours with the Pixel 7 Pro, so that's great, but it still trails some of the other flagships in the space, like the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Google Assistant works wonders with the new call screen feature, the Pixel 8 Pro. It's like having an actual person who could pick up the phone for me. Not only does the assistant sound human, but Google's AI magic comes up with contextual responses that actually make sense. It even gave me a reply about confirming an upcoming appointment that I had, along with another message about being 10 minutes late to the movies. When the rumored features Magic Audio Eraser turned out to be true here with the Pixel 8 Pro, and it's one of its exclusive features. It lets you basically remove background noise from your video, so it's almost like having noise cancellation. Okay, so I'm testing out the Pixel 8 Pro's new Magic Audio Eraser to hopefully remove some of this background noise. I'm in front of the camera because I feel like the microphones do a better job of picking it up versus me behind the camera. So we'll see if it takes out any of this noise around. While it does work in certain scenarios, I did find that it just kind of has a tougher time, especially when there are multiple people talking and you just want to focus on one person. But if there's just a background noise, whether it's music and just you talking, it does a pretty good job. Magic Editor is one of the new features with the Pixel 8 Pro, and it's powered by the Tensor G3 chip, and I find it really neat being able to actually isolate a subject and being able to move them around the photo, so it looks like you have some Photoshop-like tools at your disposal. Best Take's also another really neat feature. If you have a bunch of people in your photos and they're not looking at the camera or looking away and you just want to get the best photo, what happens here is that you take a bunch of photos and later on you could actually mix and match using the Tensor G3 chip to know people's faces, so the end result is just the perfect photo. All those new Google AI-powered camera features are wonderful. It's like having a Photoshop editor on your phone, but it's in your phone. Of course, it doesn't really matter if the cameras are crap. Triple camera system, largely unchanged. You still have a 5x zoom, telephoto zoom camera that's paired with the main 50 megapixel camera and also the 48 megapixel ultra wide. Pro controls. It's another exclusive feature on the Pixel 8 Pro, and I'm excited because it's like having a DSLR. It gives me new opportunities such as long exposure photography, so you can do some light painting, astrophotography. My only criticism is that it doesn't really come out to the video side. You're only limited to the color temperature and the exposure compensation. You don't get that full rich package like you do with photography. The main camera is pretty good. It rivals pretty much all the other flagships, the iPhone 15 Pro Max. It takes a lot of great detail. I can punch into the shots. There's also great dynamic range. It seems to balance out the shadows and the highlights. And overall, I can't complain about the results. I also really like the 5x zoom lens in the Pixel 8 Pro. It captures a lot of detail, and when I compare it to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, they both look almost identical. But I'm gonna probably give it to the Pixel 8 Pro because it seems to draw out a little bit more detail in the shadows. Macro mode is also great. It takes a lot of detail, and the best part is you don't have to actually go to separate mode. You just point your camera, get close to something, and it does it for you. Portrait mode is really good with the Pixel 8 Pro. It's convincing, just like as if you're using a standard DSLR camera. I like the amount of bokeh it applies, and it keeps the subject extra crisp and in focus. Looking at these selfies I took of myself, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is just a little bit sharper with its selfie camera, but I do like how the Pixel 8 Pro portrays my skin tone a lot better, and I also like how it has also a better dynamic range. And finally, low light. The Pixel 8 Pro does a pretty good job, but against the iPhone 15 Pro Max, you could definitely tell that there's a big difference here. The iPhone 15 Pro Max just does a better job of exposing the scene and drawing out more details in the shadows. Testing out the stabilization with the front-facing camera. Doesn't look like it's working at all or that great. It's kind of shaky. Video recording still tops out at 4K 60 frames per second. As far as the performance go, I think it's not bad. You get rich details, punchy colors. However, the iPhone 15 Pro Max still has the better dynamic range, in my opinion, because it's able to better balance out the shadows in the trees and leaves in these videos of Bethesda Fountain. All right, so I'm playing Dead Effect 2 here on the Pixel 8 Pro. It's very smooth. It ran all my apps perfectly fine. So the real world stuff, it does great. But after running some benchmark tests, it tells a different story. The results weren't as good as the iPhone 15 Pro Max or the Galaxy S23 Ultra, but at least it's better than the Pixel 7 Pro. So one of the strange things about the Pixel 8 Pro, in my opinion, is the temperature sensor. It's here in the back, right below the flash. Now, it's kind of weird because I'm not sure if it's really all that practical to use, because for starters, you have to be 2 inches away from what you're trying to record to actually get an accurate reading. And here at the coffee, it's telling me it's 109 degrees, which I assume is accurate, but there are infrared cameras, thermal cameras, where you can actually measure temperature from a longer, safer distance. You don't have to be so up close. Although, it's still waiting on FDA clearance, so you could use the temperature sensor to actually measure your body temperature. And I guess in that sense, it might be useful. So, is the Pixel 8 Pro good value? Well, first of all, you should know it's $100 more, so the starting price is $999. It also starts with 128 gigabytes of storage, which is less than some of its rivals. But despite that, I think it's a pretty good upgrade versus the 7 Pro. It also matches some of its main competitors like the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Galaxy S23 Ultra. It's a lot cheaper, almost $200 cheaper than those phones. And what I love about it most is that they really emphasize the camera, the new features, the AI stuff, and it's all packaged into just a really good performing phone. And that's it for the Pixel 8 Pro. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. If you want to learn more about anything talking about this video, check out our website, tomsguide.com. I'm John V. Don't forget to follow us on social @tomsguide, and I'll see you in my next video.